Okay, we are live. Hi everyone, welcome to TechMaestro, and this is a very ad hoc session to be honest. And since uh, you'll know why, and today I have Abhigya with me. Abhigya is a former Microsoft Engage intern, and she got a pre-placement internship offer from this Engage program as well. And this entire video is all about engaging and telling you everything about the Microsoft Engage program. I personally have mentored a lot of students in Engage program, so I can vouch that this is a really, really good experience for college students, especially second and third year students. And it's a very good opportunity and a very limited kind of opportunity to get easy pre-placement internship and pre-placement offer after this. Yes. So I'll not go much deeper into what this is and all. I'll let Abhigya speak about it. So before we do anything, Abhigya, why don't you introduce yourself?
Right. Thank you so much for this opportunity, first of all, sir. It is my pleasure to be here today. I am Abhigya Verma. I am a pre-final year student of BTech IT Indira Gandhi Delhi Technical University. I am an upcoming summer intern at Microsoft, and I was a Microsoft Engage mentee in the year 2021.
Nice, nice. So Abhigya got a pre-placement internship offer from the Engage program. That is a really good thing. So if you have any doubt, you can definitely reach out to her. Like, and she'll give us the tips and tricks about how do you convert your Engage into a proper internship opportunity as well. So stay tuned till the last. So Abhigya, a lot of the viewers who might be watching this video right now live, or maybe who will watch it later, they don't know what Engage program is. So why don't you tell us, like, why don't you tell all of us what exactly is Microsoft Engage program?
Right. I think Microsoft Engage program is one of the most enriching opportunities. Of course, the most exciting part about it is that you get into Microsoft via this mentorship program as an intern. But apart from that, there are a lot of other things to the program, like mentorship from my people who are working at Microsoft. Microsoft employees are itself, it's a big thing that you get to interact with people who are working on such big projects every day, every single day, and then you have such exciting projects and mentors who are motivating you every single day, giving you ideas that okay, you can integrate this feature, you can do this, and you can integrate this new application inside your original application, or maybe you can use this platform. So I think it is a very, very amazing program, not just in terms of getting an opportunity for placement, but as a mentorship program. As we all know, it's a mentorship program. So I think that is again a very big highlight to the program.
Definitely. So it's definitely one of the rare opportunity to get into a company, understand its culture, understand how things work, even in your second year of college, because that is very rare. As a college student, I've been through that process. So I've been in the industry for quite a time, 6 7 years now. So I know what the difference is, and this definitely helps understand the difference in a very early stage. So moving on to the next part that I have for you is, so can you tell us, like, what is the eligibility criteria and the timeline for this program?
Okay, so for the timeline, I still remember the date. We had our applications opening on 24th May, I guess, and then they were open for like some 6 7 days. It was a very, very short notice. A lot of people really missed the opportunity because 7 days they were somewhere else, they were not actively doing exams or something, and a lot of people genuinely missed the opportunity. So you need to be really careful. Right now, I think the applications are open. Once the applications are closed, then again you have this test. So not everybody is selected after the application process. You submit your resumes, and I think the eligibility criteria was that you should have a CGPA greater than 7. You should be passing in 2023. That was the eligibility at my time. So basically, only second year students were allowed for this program. Right now, I think the eligibility would be your passing year should be 2024. Or
Correct.
maybe if it's a dual degree program, I think the date might change accordingly. And then
Mhm.
again, the timeline, moving on to the timeline. We had our test somewhere in the first week of June, and the internship started right in the next week. The mentorship started. we started developing the projects. It was a very rigorous 4 week process where we had deadlines every week. Our mentors used to tell us that, okay, this week you should come up with the front end, this week you should do something. And not to forget, we were actually practicing agile methodology in our program. So we had to come up with these cycles that, okay, this week I have developed this part of the application, and the next week I'll come up with these new features in the application. So we were developing as if we were a part of Microsoft as a company and developing like that. So for 4 weeks we were developing the application. In the third week, there was this surprise element that was revealed, that we had to develop this chat feature which stays after the meeting as well.
Hmm.
So after the 4 weeks, I think we had a submission deadline, and within 1 week, we got our mails that, okay, those people who were shortlisted for the interviews, they got their interview mails, and I think in the next coming week we had our interview scheduled, and then again the offer. So for like around 2 months, we had literally no day without something significant happening. So there was something or the other happening. Either we were preparing for the interview, or there was a mentorship session, or there was a one-on-one. So yeah, that was the timeline in short.
Okay. So, basically, just to give you a bit of a change in eligibility criteria and timeline for this year. So, like Abhigya mentioned, first of all, this is second year program right now. This is only open for internship. So there are two type of engaged programs. One is for pre-internship, and one is for pre-placement. So today we are talking about pre-internship program, and the deadline is tomorrow, which is 12th of April, and till 11 p.m. is the timeline. So last time they opened it for 7 days. This time they opened it only for 2 days. So they are getting even more rigorous about application process, and even more agile about application process now. Then secondly, they have eased the CGPA criteria this year. This year the CGPA criteria is six basically. If you have more than 6 CGPA, you are eligible for this. And timeline rest is basically clearly mentioned on the website, and you can definitely check that website out. Okay. So we talked about eligibility, we talked about timeline basically. Now can you tell us, like, what is the application process, and how does one, if I have to apply, how do I stand out from the crowd?
So the application process is the very simple process that we have, like what is your college, what is your CGPA, what is the year of passing, all the basic stuff. But apart from that, what makes the difference, all the difference that somebody gets shortlisted and somebody is not getting shortlisted is, I feel it CGPA does play an important criteria. So it is important. We can't really deny that. And apart from that, your resume. So if you are a little less in your CGPA, your resume should fill that part. So I think it is important that your resume should be very neatly done. A one-page resume for a person who is in second year is, I think, more than enough. Your college, your CGPA should be very clearly mentioned. Apart from that, your university. Then, very importantly, you should always mention some of the projects that you have covered in your resume very clearly, along with the GitHub or the website link, so that whenever somebody is checking out your resume, they can easily see what work you have done. If it's a group project, do mention that I have done the ML part or I have done the front end part. So that makes the reviewer work very easy. They understand that, okay, you have done some part of it. Apart from that, your resume should have a very good template. It should not be very cluttered, and it should not have a lot of spaces in the resume. So, and yes, of course, if you are participating in any of the hackathons or you are a competitive coder, you might be having a lot of achievements to write. So you can definitely have an achievement section at the end of your resume, explaining that, okay, you achieved second rank in this hackathon, you got your 10th rank globally in this datathon, or whatever your achievements are. And yeah, if you've written any research papers, at my time when I submitted my resume, I had submitted one research paper for publication. So I just gave a basic idea about the research paper and the area where I was working. So anything and everything that academically or co-curricular activities, if you are involved, if you are spending time at that, I think you can mention it. It always explains what you're good at. And I feel that it's not important that you should only write something related to academics, even if it's a debate competition where you came something. I think that's also your skill. and that also explains that you're good at something else as well. So I think you should mention each and everything that you're spending your time in. Yeah, that's
Okay.
from my side.
First of all, what I'll say is, Abhigya, you mentioned or you explained it very, very well. To be honest, I'll say I envy you. The way you explained it, it was really good. Even like it gave me goosebumps. Like you did it very well. So there is nothing that I have to repeat. To be honest, so the resume tips that she gave, it's not just for engage program. It's very relevant for any job and job application that you want to apply. So take that tip and apply it in your regular life. Whenever you have to apply anywhere, take these tips and make your resume accordingly. And believe me, it is to the point, very relevant, and really good tips. Okay, moving on to the next question. What is the
I just
selection
want
process?
to add one more thing to the resume part. I'm so sorry
Yes.
to cut you in between. Yeah, so I think whenever you're submitting your resume for an application, you can always improvise it according to the position for which you are applying. So, for example, if you're applying for Engage, maybe you could change your resume a little bit towards the mentorship side, or maybe you could add some projects. So, you know that this time it is about machine learning. You've already checked the project. So, maybe adding some machine learning projects, maybe even basic ones, would increase your chances of getting into the program, right? Because it's related to that. I am not saying that maybe web developers would not get into the program, but I think, things, if you have something like that in your portfolio, skipping some other part and adding that part would definitely serve a good purpose. So yeah, you can always change your resume according to the position for which you are applying.
Definitely. So, and this is something that I always preach. What you need to do is you need to basically keep your resume ATS friendly. Excuse me. Yeah, you need to keep your resume ATS friendly, because every resume go through a machine, because it's not humanly possible to scan thousands of resumes, right? So it goes through machines are not biased, they don't have any criteria in their mind. Programs do what we want them to do, right? So all they do is just extract keyword and try to score your resume, and everything that Abhigya mentioned is very relevant to ATS and human friendly resume. So make sure that you follow this advice and update your resume accordingly. Okay, now the next question that I had is, like, basically, what is the selection process? What does this entire selection process looks like, if you have any idea about this?
So I can only tell as a student as what happens at the back at the by the Microsoft Teams, or would be able to tell that in a better way. But as a student, what I could understand. So after your resume is submitted and you're shortlisted, you will receive a test link and you will be told that okay, there is a time slot. For example, I think we had 9 p.m. to 6 p.m. 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. as the slot for our test, and everybody was giving the test had a few similar questions or a few different questions as well. So I definitely asked my because I was there was some college exam. I think I was not able to give the exam in the morning slot. So definitely when I was giving the test in the evening, I was curious. So I asked one of my friends from some other college that what were the questions, and I literally understood all the questions and did all the concept. And when I sat for the test, not even a single question was same as the in from the morning slot. And yeah, so please don't assume that there is a slot, so if somebody is giving it before, they have you will have an upper hand giving it later, and the questions. That is not going to happen. Apart from that, the test was a very very amazing one. I think it is one of the most unique tests that you will ever see. So this test has MCQ questions, which are like direct, straightforward, related to data structures and algorithms. One thing very clearly that the test is definitely related to data structures and algorithms, and most importantly, your basics. So a lot of people do DSA and do the coding questions, but they don't know the basics of what exactly recursion is. If you tell them to explain recursion, maybe they won't be able to explain it. And so engaged people had this very interesting question in their test that how will you explain recursion to your grandmother? And that was an analytical question. So we had to explain it. And there were like 4 or 5 analytical questions. So where our answer didn't matter, what mattered what was our explanation to the answer. And so as far as I can understand, the company was trying to understand how do we approach a problem in the first place and how strong we are at the basics. Because if we are good at the basics, we can always build on that. But if
Correct.
we are not good in the basics, we will never be able to do good in coding, right? Because maybe we'll do one or two questions right now and we'll feel okay, we have done the hard question. But when we don't know what recursion is in the first place, maybe we'll not be able to apply the concepts. So it is really important that your basics should be really good when you talk about the engage MCQ test. And you can definitely expect anything in the test, because every year I asked my seniors, they had a very different test. Their seniors had a different test. We had a different test. And I'm sure this year also Microsoft is going to bring something different in the test. So yeah, I think that's the selection process.
Okay. So, to be honest, Abhigya, when you said like I could not give test in the morning and I gave it in the evening, and I asked my friends, I really was expecting you'll say, oh, I got exact same questions. For some reason, my mind was waiting for that line basically. But when
That
you
is
said
what
like,
I was also expecting, but I literally didn't even got a single same question, not even similar. So my friend said there were a lot of questions on trees, and there was not a single question on trees in my exam.
okay. So basically, the lesson that we get from this is, first of all, focus on the basics. And this is something that I really advocate. I really preach every single day. Focus on your basics. Learn the basics concepts first, and then obviously you can build things on top of basics. So that's about it. And from the backend perspective, or from the experience perspective, what I can tell you is like the test will always judge your basics. And then secondly, what happens is what so the ATS part, or the application to selection part, or basically getting a callback part, is all about like making your resume strong enough, have decent enough number of keywords that the ATS can get and score very well. And that's all that we do. That's all I know that any company, not just Microsoft, any other company do, because they cannot physically do it. Machine has to do it. Then secondly, test is like sending, after sending test, and it's all about the score. After score, it's all about in the interview process. And I think rest is same, like there is no other additional magical thing that I can add, definitely. Okay. So now we know what we know is like, we know eligibility criteria, we know the application process, we know the timelines basically, and how does selection happen. Now let's talk about the work, kind of work that you get to do during internship. So can you tell us about that a bit?
Right. So I think the projects have been released even now, and last year also the projects were released beforehand. So we knew we had to develop a clone of Microsoft Teams. But when I had first one-on-one with my mentors, which was after I got the selection mail and we had that one-on-one schedule, the mentors told that we have to develop as per our requirements. And very initially only they wanted to know which tech stack do we actually code in. So for example, I used to do only machine learning. I had written 2 research papers in machine learning, and I was only doing machine learning APIs and stuff like that. And so it was really difficult for me to switch to web development. I had no idea what JavaScript even looked like. So be prepared for that. That if you have a project, you will definitely have to build. Even if you're not an ML person, this year I think all the problem statements are related to ML. You will have to develop related to that. um,
Correct.
Apart from that, you also so last year we had this agile methodology, and in the very beginning we only we were told that in the submission we will have to tell how we followed the agile methodology, and that is definitely very important. In fact, in every one-on-one that my mentors had with me every week, they used to ask that what agile methodology and how we were incorporating it in our project this week. And they always focused on adding more and more features into the pushing us for the better. It was not like we used to get some work done and then used to talk about the next. They used to appreciate our work that we did, but then they also used to motivate us to do further, better things and add more features, because that I think is the part of a mentor, to encourage you for the better.
Correct.
And so for the first 2 weeks, first week we had a lot of sessions where we were basically given resources explained by the university recruiting team also, and by the technical team also, about the project. And what features and APIs we could use, which resources were good to use, which technologies we could use, all of that. So we had a lot of sessions regarding that in the first 2 weeks, and then in the third week, which was the surprise element week, we had the surprise element with that. we had to develop this chat feature. That said and done, along with all this happening, we also had assignments every week or even twice in a week. And these assignments were type form. We could Google them, but honestly, I couldn't find any answers on Google because it was very much related to the research work that we were doing regarding the project. So, if you were actually coding the project, you will very easily be able to answer the questions that were being asked because it was straightforward related to the technologies. For example, I remember I was using peer to peer, and this direct question was there in the assignment. So they basically built the assignment around the work that we were actually doing. So if you're actually working, you will be very easily able to, find the answers with the assignment. So honestly, doing the work is only the key to ace the mentorship. And very honestly, I think the mentors are very easily able to figure out what you're doing and if you're actually working or you are just copying or cheating. And so I would suggest, please do not do something like that. Do put all your hard work, even if you are not able to build 10 features, you're only able to build 9. Still, if you are actually building it, your mentor will realize that you're putting in hard work. And yeah, so that was a mentorship journey for me. Ending it with the submission, I think the submission is very important. My mentor didn't had a special presentation, but a lot of mentors had this special presentation at the end to judge the whole work, where everybody had to just explain, and then a similar presentation was also uploaded on the website of the official website of Engage, and that website had to include our work in all the 4 weeks, how we use agile methodology in the project, and our learnings from the project, from the mentorship. So I think there was a time limit also. I think the video should not be more than 2 minutes. And yeah, that was how we concluded the mentorship.
Okay. So, first of all, like she said, don't cheat because your mentors are seasoned engineers. They have been through that phase and they have done all that cheating part and all those things because they are also engineers, right? They have also done that their BTech and they know how people cheat and all, right? So I've been there. That's how we know, and we know how to cross question. We know how to what to ask to know if you have been cheating or you have been copy pasting or you actually are doing it. So if and secondly, let it like don't it's not just about that, it's also about learning because this entire 1 month is mainly to see how can you learn or not. The entire judging criteria from a mentor's perspective is when you are working, the a mentor's perspective is all about, or the parameters that we have is, can you learn? This is the only thing that we used to see entire 4 weeks. This is something that we used to see because we don't expect you to be expert of a technology or expert in anything at all. We always see like, do you have what it takes to learn something totally new? Like abhigya mentioned, she never used javascript. So that, if that is the case, even if she is able to implement two features, not 10, I know that she started from zero. She reached to a good level in JavaScript and then she coded two features. So that is a very important aspect. And this is a very additional data point that we have, that she can learn within a month and she can implement that within a month. So, and this is how you actually get offers as well. So, and this shows how serious you are as well. So these are the main data points that we collect. So don't cheat, actually learn and implement that, and you will be in a very good situation, definitely. Okay, now basically, uh, lot we have talked a lot about work and all. Now let's talk about the important aspects. Obviously, the perks and benefits, the stipends and all. If you are comfortable sharing.
Right. So I think because there's a non-disclosure agreement, I cannot reveal the internship stipend, but I can definitely tell everything about the mentorship program because it was open. So mentorship program has no stipend as such, but I think the learnings that you have from the program, the experience right in the second year, that how you develop a project in a company environment is a big deal. Apart from that, we also had some swags from Microsoft Engage team. So they had sent us this very amazing T-shirt and with Microsoft Engage written on it, and a very beautiful frame that had certified that okay, we had participated in the program and successfully completed the mentorship. You could put it anywhere on the walls. It is a beautiful frame. So yeah, that was about mentorship program. And then when you talk about perks, it is really amazing that a company is giving you this mentorship experience and then further giving you an opportunity to interview for a role at the company. And this was like previously only told to us that we will get opportunities to interview. So we got this mail right after the submissions that according to, I think it was according to the mentor's feedback, that whether we'll have an AA round, whether we'll have a technical round. So a lot of people had two interviews, technical and AA round. So technical was totally based on data structures and your concepts in the technical domain. And your AA round was basically anything and everything that you can imagine. So my AA round was taken by a person from Microsoft who was working there since 10 to 12 years. And he was a very, very senior developer. I think he was a project manager. And he was really very curious about each and everything that I wrote in my resume. I guess he was having my resume in front of him when he was talking to me. He talked to me about my research projects. He talked to me about my projects. He talked to me about my mentorship project. He talked to me about why I want to join Microsoft and what do I find so interesting about the company. So basically, anything and everything you can imagine is there in your as appropriate AA round. And everybody had either two or one interview rounds, and few very, very amazing people who built the projects at a very, very amazing with amazing growth. I think they got a direct offers. Even I know personally one of my friends, she got a direct offer without an interview. So it all depends on your performance in the program. But yes, you have opportunities. A lot of people didn't got any mail for the interview. So yeah, it really depends how many interviews you get or whether even if you get an offer or not. But definitely Engage has an opportunity for you to get into the company directly.
Sure. And it's definitely like, if you see, even if a company is coming on campus, the batch that you're competing with, it's just six people. So generally what happens is, in a batch of six, the two mentors are assigned, and what happens is these mentors rank each and every person, and on the basis of that ranking, you get a feed. This is the major reason. Whatever your mentor recommend is the basis of getting a callback or not, or the callback for internship of interviews or not. After that, it's all about what you how you perform in internship, or sorry, in the interview. But right now you're just competing with six people, and there is no restriction on mentors to only select two, three, four. You can select all six as well. So this is one thing. So the batch is very limited, or the competition is very limited as compared to even on campus internship, plus offline or off campus is, it's a all different ball game altogether. So definitely, and interview process, as she mentioned, there is an AA round. AA stands for anything and everything, in which basically a technical or a non-technical person can take your interview, and they will talk to you about anything to everything, like in the name as well. They'll talk to you about your resumes, your project, everything that you can think of. Your communication skills are judged, your mentorship or getting mentored skills are judged. Everything is judged in that round. And apart from that, in technical, it's mostly data structure round, like any other internship intern interview. It is as same as that, it's just that. So I'll say, like, if you can get this opportunity, it's a very good opportunity, to be honest. Perks and benefits, there are a lot of benefits and there are a lot of perks. Even if there is no stipend for 1 month, you can live without that, and you'll get so many things out of the box right in front of you. So you can definitely
Yeah.
try this. There is no harm in
I and I totally forgot to mention this, that a lot of people from Microsoft who were at very high positions came to take sessions about the growth opportunities at Microsoft, the environment
Mhm.
for women, especially, or for people at Microsoft, the growth mindset, and how Microsoft became the reached where it is today from a
Yeah.
very small company, from a very small program. So there are a lot of learning opportunities along the way.
In fact, I remember, like, I attended one of the session. It was taken by Rajiv. Rajiv is like head of India. So people like that, and a lot of time, his manager, like Gaurav Sheeran, I don't know, I don't remember the exact name, but people at superior level, like just uh, at the level of Satya Nadella, people like that take sessions. So it's a very good learning opportunities because they have seen so much things in their life. They have like 25 plus years of experience, and they're the defining people in this entire industry. We This tech industry is there because of people like them. So that is why, like, this is a very good growth opportunity for you as well. What we'll do is, like, we'll take a few questions. There are few questions.
Yeah, I think Engage is only for second years right now. And I think there is another opportunity, maybe with the name Aspire or Engage only, which is separately open for the fourth year or third year people later, but not at this point. This Engage is only for second years.
Okay, thank you. I think I lost my connection, and thank you for continuing without me. Okay, so the next question we have is the program offline or virtual?
Yeah, it's totally virtual. It was virtual for us. Maybe you might get a trip or something like that. But I think it was virtual for us. So all the sessions, all the mentor sessions, one-on-ones, presentations, submissions, everything was completely virtual for us.
I think it is virtual, as far as I know. So 99.9% chances are like it is virtual, for two reasons. One being, one the biggest is like Microsoft has multiple offices in India now. So this program is across entire Microsoft India. It has nothing to do with Microsoft Hyderabad or Bangalore or Noida. You can go anywhere. So that is why I think this is going to be virtual. But again, you can ask this to the HR. You can definitely ask these kind of questions to the relevant person, and I don't think they will have any hesitation in answering you. Okay, so the last question that we have is how quick we have to solve questions, like at what, like at your time, your friends. I think this also.
If I, yeah, they're talking about the test that we had in the initial
Yeah,
stage for the MCQ test.
yeah.
They're talking. So I think we have a very fixed amount of time, and there was one rule at our time that we couldn't go back to the question. So, for example, if you have done question number one, you move to question number two, you can't go back to change your answer or write something else in your question one. So that was one thing, that in the test you only have one chance to go at a question, and you have to take the questions as they come. So apart from that, how quick we solve the questions, we have 30 minutes at hand, and we really don't know how many analytical questions are left. So analytical questions might take a lot of time. So when you have an MCQ question in front of you, you should try to do it as fast as possible. And when you have an analytical question in front of you, you should write as much, but then definitely keep in mind the number of questions that are still left. So you have a total amount of time to answer a total amount of questions. I pardon, but I really don't remember the exact number. But I'm sure when you'll get the mail that for the test, you will have that information about the number of questions and the time that you will have to answer them.
Okay. Okay, Ayush itself has one more question. What is the judging criteria after coding round? Does it depend on your resume?
So there is no coding round. There is one resume submission based on which people receive the link for the MCQ test. And about the MCQ test, your answers are the only way you can get into the program. And then you directly get into the mentorship. You get the mail and you get started. You are assigned mentors. The mentors will reach out to you, and you will have a kickoff session, and that's how your mentorship will begin.
Okay, so basically there is no such coding round or anything at all, and or DSA round. It's the DSA coding, everything is part of that online assessment. So that's it. So okay, how did you study for DSA?
So everybody has different patterns of studying DSA. I started my DSA in my second semester, and honestly, I'm still not done. And I think I will never be done with DSA. Nobody can, honestly, that is my opinion, because DSA is something that you can always have so many questions related to arrays, related to graphs, so many problems. So what basically you need to do is you can take up any free course on YouTube or Coursera, or maybe you could take up a course from an institution paid, whatever works for you. So the basic funda is, if you're good at self study, so you can go with a free course. Otherwise, if you're not good at self study and you want a danda on your head, so you can get a course from some place and some mentor will be on your head to do, yeah, why you have not done the questions that I gave for the assignment. If you want that treatment, maybe you can buy a course. Complete all the basics of all the data structures, how they work, stacks, queues, graphs, all the what's and how's of it. And then what you can do is practice a lot of questions alongside on lead code. And then once you're done with all the data structures, you can give time to 2 to 3 questions every day on lead code or Geeks for Geeks, whichever platform suits you. You could also give the monthly tests on Code Chef or Code Forces. Yeah, that was how I did it, and maybe some other plan can work for you, but that's how what worked for me.
Okay, so I'll just add one thing. If you want the danda free of cost, the danda that Abhigya mentioned. So what we are doing right now is we are going through a 75 days coding challenge, and it's totally free of cost for anyone who wants to join. In fact, there are rewards and gifts that you get if you actually perform in that. So what you can check is, like, on this YouTube channel, you can go and check out the 75 days intro challenge intro video, and you'll get to know about it, all about it in one single video, and you can start following that challenge. And that challenge will help you get consistency of solving question every single day. Then that challenge will give you a group of people to solve with, to do these questions every day with. And thirdly, you will get someone, like I personally take the live session every single day. I teach the concept of the day every single day on live, o- on this YouTube channel, so you can check that out, and it is totally free of cost. So there is no cost as well, so you can get better at all the concepts from basics to advanced level till graph algorithms, and all of that is free of cost, so definitely check that out. And one more thing that I always forget about saying is, like, if you haven't done that, click on the subscribe button, click on the bell icon, so that you get notification about all the videos that we upload, or all the live sessions that we do, like these. All we try to bring all the experts on our channel, so that you get relevant information right on time. So click on that subscribe button, and do click on that bell icon for notifications. Okay, so we have one more question. This might be relevant, but were there good number of male candidates? I was told majority female candidates are preferred.
No, that's not true. Like we had 6 people in my team, and out of them, 3 were girls, 3 were boys. So
Same.
it's not that majorly female students are preferred.
Mhm.
And apart from that, I am from a girls' university, so all people known to me were girls, but I know a lot of people who were not, who were from Triple IT, DTU, or other colleges, and they were a part of Engage program. And of course, they were boys.
So yes, in fact, the cohort that was given to me, or the p number of mentees given to me, they were, like she said, 3 girls, 3 boys. So there is no restriction on gender, because engage program is not about diversity, it's about actually giving opportunity to second year students. So it has nothing to do with any gender or any community at all. So everybody is equally eligible for this. Okay, since you were learning ML, did you use Python to study DSA? Any reference to study DSA using Python?
So I learned completely my C++ and data structures, and then I started with ML in my summers. And I was given this advice by a very good senior, that never use Python in your data structures, because Python makes your work very easy. It has a lot of libraries and a lot of helpful modules, so that you can easily implement complex ML algorithms. And so you should never use it in DSA. In fact, a lot of my friends gave interviews and they were strictly told not to write in Python. They were told that please write the pseudo code, but don't write in Python if you don't know any other language. So I will always suggest, if you're starting with DSA and you are to choose a language, please do not choose Python. Choose C++ or Java. I think that's the most used languages. Others are a little more complex or maybe not preferred. So yeah, those are the two best languages, the most basic ones and the mostly used languages.
Okay, I'll give my piece of advice because I've taken so many interviews now for multiple companies. To be honest, it does not matter the programming language. I have taken interviews, and 50% of the people actually write in Python. And maybe in some companies there may be cases like 1 or 2% cases are there where they may not allow you a particular language, but nobody cares about the language that you use. So it is okay to use Python from my experience, like, and this is from all the 10 years of experience that I have. I've never seen anyone saying don't use XYZ language to any person that I know. So and it does not mean that it does not happen as well. There are few companies I know where they specifically ask for Java or specifically for C or C++. It depends on role as well. But just in case if you're starting, obviously C, C++, Java, Python, all are equally hard or equal at one place. Now about DSA using Python, what I can do is, even I don't know, to be honest, I don't know a very good course in DSA using Python. I can check it for you, and I can share it in the Discord community, or you can comment in the in on this video, and I will get back to you. Okay, I've been trying to do 75 days challenge, but I cannot even solve the easy question. Okay, Nikesh, it is okay. What happens is, like, what you can do is you can start, or you can attend the daily sessions, because I don't see you in the daily session, or if you actually attend, you don't interact with me. I know each and every person who interact with me. I know their name, know them by name. I interact with them on Discord community as well. So if you actually if you it's okay, attend the live sessions, learn the basics first. So like she mentioned, like, you have to know the basics very well, and that's when you start building things on top of that, and that's when start things getting better or easier. So it's okay if you're not able to solve initially easy questions initially. It takes time, but after a while, after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, you will be in a much better stage. So keep working, keep doing it. You'll have to, initially it's a struggle, and there is no running away from the struggle in literally any field. It's not just DSA or computer science. Even if you want to build a car, or even if you want to basically start cooking, as simple as thing as cooking or cleaning or whatever, you have to start with a struggle, and that's when after a while it grows in you, or you grow with it, and that's when it starts becoming easy. So that's all I can say about it. Okay, any other questions before we end the call? And I think I have one more question for you. Sorry, not questions. Okay, so any final piece of advice, any tip for the people who are like here?
So, just one thing, that never get disheartened by any failure. And I know it has been second year. You know, you must have got so many opportunities, and then you must have not got selected. Went till the last round of interviews, and then was not shortlisted. Was not didn't got the offer. So that happens, and that happened a lot with me when I was giving my test for Engage. I was so like done with all this that I thought that I'm not going to get this one as well. So please don't do that. Do prepare as well as you prepared for your first interview, because you never know which one is going to be your last, right? So just enjoy the journey, and I'm sure that God has his own plans for everybody. Maybe he wanted me to land up in Microsoft. Maybe he wants you to land up somewhere, and so just keep working hard. Just don't stop doing DSA. Do one question every single day, but never stop doing it for 2 to 3 days. That will you will lose practice. And I still do DSA questions every day. So the key is the consistency. You just need to keep practicing, keep doing, keep hustling, and just continue the hustle, and I'm sure somewhere some at some place you will reach somewhere. And for the mentorship, it is going to be very difficult. Trust me, your code will not run. It will have 1 million bugs. And your mentor will tell you, come and tell you. I'm saying this in front of a mentor. I'm so sorry, but your mentor will come and tell you, this was so simple. Why you were not able to do it? It's not that my mentor said that, but when they say it, it seems like that. Oh my God, they are not understanding how difficult it is. But what they're actually trying to do is tell you they have the belief in you that you can do it, and that is why they're saying that. So just keep working on that small project of yours, and I'm sure you will be able to get 100% accuracy in all your ML algorithms. All the best.
Okay, one thing is, to be honest, Abhigya, you are a very, very positive person. I really feel very good talking to you. I'm very honest about this. And secondly, no mentor will say this. I've never seen any mentor saying, "Yaar, ye bhi nahi hua tujhse." I never say this.
No,
Nobody said this to
actually,
me.
no, one of my friends had this mentor in the Engage program, and he used to tell her that, okay, you have done this feature, but where is this feature that I talked about in the previous week? So I think you should also implement this one. So, he was just never satisfied with her. Of course, he used to say, okay, this is good, the one that you have done, but where is the other one? So, at that point of time when you're really working so hard on a project, you really want somebody to say, okay, you have done a lot, stop it. And then your mentor comes and tells you, okay, now I think you can do this one also. So, the mental state at that point of time is, I just want a break. But I think that's the fun of it now. When I go back to 1 year back when I was doing all of that hustle, I smile, and when I remember that time, that every day I was sitting with that project. My mother used to tell me at 3 in the night, actually it was a morning, that सो के उठी हो या उठ के काम कर रही हो अभी. And I used to tell her that, okay, I've not slept all night. And that was my situation. But I think that is why these are the memories that you make while doing such projects.
Okay. First of all, to be honest, I have worked with Microsoft. Microsoft does not believe in that kind of work life balance. She it was her choice, not Microsoft's choice. So I can vouch for Microsoft. I don't have any benefit for Microsoft now, but I can vouch for Microsoft that this is not the kind of work life balance we have in Microsoft. And secondly, it's all about growth mindset, and that's what your mentor will always tell you about. So yeah, that's all I will say. We have two more questions before we end the call. Let's take these two, sir. More interactive from now on. Oh, this is not a question. This is more of a message. This is a question for you, Pooja. I am not a ML person. I am doing web dev. How do I build the given project in this program?
ML is very easy. You just need to get started with it. There is this very amazing course on Coursera by Andrew Ng. He's considered the god of ML. So you can just refer to that course, start, doing stuff. But I think for now you can do DSA, and you have ample amount of time. I just read the projects, and they're very simple for anybody who knows basic ML. So you will be easily able to implement the projects, and then of course it's just about enhancing the projects, and your mentors will always tell you what features you can add. At that point of time you'll feel they're burdening you, but they're actually giving you advice, so take it like that.
Okay. Okay. So again, it's not. So I'll just add one last piece of advice here on this same question. It's not. It is not necessary to be an ML person, as she mentioned. The projects, the three tracks that they have this year, it's very easy. They give you time to learn. If you are serious about it, you will have enough time to learn. You'll have enough time to implement, but you have to be serious. You have to be committed to this entire program, and then you'll be in much better stage. So that's all I'll say. And
And during the session I just referred to the whole program that they have scheduled for you guys this year, and they have all the basic machine learning workshops in the program, like they had for us last year about web development and peer to peer communication. So I think you can just take your notebook and pen to the sessions and attend them, and you will be able to learn a lot from the sessions itself for implementing the program.
yes, there is an entire learn section, so you can actually do that. They provide you end to end everything that you need. So that's all. Like it's all about you. It's all about learning or the zeal to learn. It's just up to that now. Okay, so again, thank you so much, Abhigya, for coming. And you're a very very positive person, to be honest. And I wish you a lot of success in future, and I'm sure that it will come to you, and it is going to be there eventually. But again, thank you so much for joining the session and sharing
Thank
all
you
the
so much for
experience.
giving me this opportunity. I actually got to know what happens at the back end, and I was so curious about it. Thank you so much.
Okay. And to the people who are still watching, thank you so much for watching this video till the end. And definitely one thing is, like, click on the like button, and you can actually connect with me or Abhigya on LinkedIn if you want to. There is a link provided in the description. Apart from that, there is a link to GitHub repository which contains a lot of good stuff on software engineering interview perspective. Anyone can take a look at it, and it contains all free of cost available material around the internet. And it is structured in a very it is mentioned in a very structured format, from easy to hard to like from very beginner to expert level, for every subject, DSA, be it CS fundamental, LLD, HLD, everything that you can think of. So you can check that out, and it's free of cost available, like everything else that we have in this community. And at last but not the least, click on that subscribe button and click on that bell icon so that you get notification about this channel every time we do something new. Thank you so much. See you in the next video. Bye bye.